everybody, and welcome to Taking Control, the ADHD podcast on True Story FM. And I'm here with, oh my God, it's Nikki Kinzer and Melissa Bachelor Discord Mom.
Hello.
Zoink, Scoob.
Hi, Melissa.
Hello. Sorry, I'm not used to saying hello. Usually I'm in Discord and I don't say hello out loud. I type it.
Do you know what?
Right.
Really, you should just put your mic up to your keyboard and type everything, every response. That would be on brand. We are doing a very special season 31 finale episode. And Melissa, I don't even know why I'm talking. You are the host of our special game show finale. And we're going to be answering a lot of questions, and I'm very excited about that. But first, don't forget the usual stuff. Head over to takecontroladhd.com to get to know us a little bit better. Listen to the show right there on the website or subscribe to the mailing list. We'll send you an email each time a new episode is released. This is the last episode of our 31st season, but fear not that there is a season 32. We are obviously coming back. We're just taking a little bit of our extended holiday break, and we will be back in the new year. We're very excited about it, but that doesn't mean you can't support the show and support all the good stuff that we're doing behind the scenes while we're on our break. So visit patreon.com/the ADHD podcast. While we're not producing brand new episodes, you can jump into the Discord server. You can chat with fellow ADHDers. You can get access to the triple secret channels, depending on the level that you sign up for. We would love you to be there. We need you to be there. This show needs supporters just like you. If you're already a supporter, thank you so much. And if you are not yet, water's warm. Come on in. Patreon.com/the ADHD podcast to learn more. Melissa, the floor is yours.
Very nice of you guys to have me on again. We actually did something similar to this. It's been a few years where it was more or less like a quiz show set up before. And one of our community members mentioned that they had recently listened to the episode and was like, you guys need to do another one because that was really fun. And luckily, they mentioned that early enough that we could
actually
put something together in time for our final episode for the season. Speaking of, I'm really glad you mentioned that there's a season 32. I was nervous for a second that maybe y'all brought me on to be like, hey, this is going to be it. So, super glad that there's a new season coming.
Yes.
I decided to do something a little bit different this time. So there are no points involved. It's not really a quiz show, so to speak, but more of a let's get to know our podcast co-hosts a little bit better and ask them a few questions. I had kind of like sequestered the questions into a couple of different categories. Things like hobbies, looking back at earlier times of your life, and then a few like what if questions. This was really just something to do that would be a little bit fun and allow us to kind of unwind and take a break as we happen to be right now in the holiday season. And we're ending our podcast season, that this would be a fun way to wrap things up. So are you guys ready to answer a few questions?
Let's do it.
So,
Do you promise to answer with the truth? All the truth and nothing but the truth?
yes, I promise.
All right, good.
Yes.
I mentioned that the first category was about hobbies. I actually entitled it Hobby Lob-by, meaning I like lobbing or throwing things, and I'm tossing questions at you. So it's Hobby
that's good.
Lobby.
I thought all the
Yeah,
hobbies
yeah.
had to be involving throwing things, but I'm glad.
Oh, no. All right. So first question is pretty simple. What are some of your favorite hobbies or activities that you like to do, but that you like to do by yourself?
All of my hobbies I do by myself because I'm an
Nikki's
introvert.
I don't
Number one
I don't like
hobby
doing
is
anything
being by
fun with
herself.
people.
I love being by myself. I have no
Nothing
problem
wrong with that.
Yeah. Reading. I like to read. I always have a book that I'm reading. And puzzles. I love doing puzzles. I always have a puzzle on the dining room table. And
So like Can we clarify puzzle is like the puzzle pieces you're putting together a
it has
picture?
to be 1,000 pieces. And there are particular type of puzzles that I like. I like ones that are very colorful, that are easier to put together, because then it's more fun. So like it's something that's just like a sky and a field, I would hate.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like I need to have lots of color and things like that. And why I do my puzzles, I like to watch Dateline or 2020, some kind of true crime as I'm doing my puzzles. That's usually what I'm doing. And I
like to watch
enjoy
shows
this. It's really
about child
painting a
predators.
picture.
yeah. And sometimes I'll have some candy, like Mike and Ike's. I had Mike and Ike's last night with my puzzle. And that was fun. And then the other thing I like to do by myself is watercolor. So I like to paint. Yes.
I like to do puzzles and search the website for locations of registered sex offenders.
Don't do that.
Honestly, that is really just playing it safe in your own neighborhood.
Right? Yeah, exactly. That's just being cautious.
Oh, no.
Don't go to that house during Halloween trick or treat.
So, yeah, those are the three things that I try to do every weekend, or, get some time in.
What about you, Pete? What do you like to do by yourself?
Oh, I watch a lot of movies and TV shows, and I do it for a podcast, a series of podcasts, but I would do it anyway. I just like immersing myself in those things. I like to mess around with a lot of creative tools. You'll probably find, like, if I could make more of my information management systems, like just playing in Obsidian, I could do that for hours and hours and hours just for fun. I also have a newfound love of the lathe, of turning wood. And so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I don't do it nearly enough because I have to use my next door neighbor's wood shop to do it. And so it's not like in my house, but I am making a bowl right now. I'm in bowl progress, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I think when I retire, I think I'll go back. When I was in high school, we had a pottery studio, and I spent all my non-academic time throwing pots on the wheel, and I loved that. I made plates, I made vases, I made jugs, I made bowls, I made all kinds of things. I think that's something. It's probably the one thing that I do with my hands that is not somehow technology related, that I really, really love. I like getting dirty with clay. It's a very Ghost kind of moment. So that's it. That's one of my favorites.
I will say it's not really a Ghost moment, because in that one, she didn't do it by herself.
No, she didn't. But I do, when I do it, I imagine hundreds of ghost hands on the pot at the same time.
Hundreds.
Yeah, it's a real party.
Hundreds.
It's a
I
ghost
thought you were just going to say
party.
you just imagined you were doing it with Patrick Swayze.
Well, they're all Patrick Swayze. I mean, come on.
Oh, okay. Hundreds of Patrick Swayze hands.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes total sense.
I don't remember. Was it The Naked Gun? It was the second Naked Gun movie, I think, where they had a montage where Leslie Nielsen was behind whoever it was in the movie, and it was like hands and then feet came up around the pottery, and it was just really, really gross. That was one of the funniest things for me. Yeah.
Oh my. A lot of hands in that pottery.
So many hands.
Well, do you guys have any hobbies that you enjoy doing with other people, like in a group?
Nope.
Or at least with one
Nikki loves running from groups. That's her hobby.
Nope. I don't know. I'm kidding. I like going out on the boat in the summer with a group of friends, with friends. I love that.
Oh, that
I love being
nice.
on the water. I love having a beverage. I love being in the sun. I love chatting and just being in the water. So that's definitely something I like to do with a group.
Man, we are different people.
I was going to say, Pete, being not a fan of deep water, would probably not enjoy that so much.
Oh, my God. It's just described the worst Can you put the boat in dry dock and then give me a beverage? Like, I'll be fine. I could sit on a boat in somebody's driveway. And for me, I love just like collaborative storytelling stuff. I'm part of a number of groups that involve this kind of mentality, like D&D. I'm part of a collaborative storytelling writing group. We write chapters of threaded hyperfiction that I love very much. And I think I love the idea of working creatively with people, to create new stories, right? I think that's right. Really fun, making something together like that.
That is really fun.
Yeah.
Actually,
I like playing games with people too. Like if we're having a social event, like if there's like a couple coming over, or some family, or like, we're in the holidays. So like Thanksgiving, Christmas, I like having games that we can play with people too. That's always fun.
For sure.
Oh, for sure. Let's take one of your current hobbies that you mentioned. Let's pick one of the solo ones. And let's say that you have to turn that into your next career. And let's say that you expect it to be at least moderately successful. Maybe somebody's like, hey, I really like how you do that. Will you come do that for money? Which of your hobbies would you prefer to turn into a career?
That's easy for me. Brad and I have already talked about it. My husband and I.
Puzzles?
Oh,
can you do that?
We want
Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's a Dateline.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, we want to get a little booth like at a Saturday market, and half of the booth will be my watercolors and half of the booth will be his photography.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we want to do in retirement. Whether anything sells or not doesn't matter. I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Now, I'm curious because I love this idea. Could you do watercolor paintings of things that Brad takes pictures of?
Oh my gosh!
And then someone
way too much.
Okay, I don't know. I've never seen your watercolors.
No, I guess. I mean, I see where you're going.
Collaborative.
He could, because I like to do a lot of flowers, and I'd like to get into landscapes. So I might be able to do something like that. Who knows?
Like if he took a picture of a flower. And then you did a watercolor of the same flower, then someone could buy both the photograph and the watercolor, or, one or the other.
Look at you throwing out business ideas.
You could send it off to Liberty Puzzles and have a laser cut puzzle made out of your watercolor of a photograph. That is a lot of meta.
That's a lot of stuff going on there. Yeah.
Porque no los dos. Why not do both?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you throw in a little Spanish there. That just was really exciting. Yeah.
See.
Okay.
Pete, what about you?
Pete.
I would love to just write fiction full time. I'd love to. That would be a lifestyle that I would really celebrate. I think that, on the book market's tough right now, so I don't have a high reasonable assumption of success. But I do know that people struggle with their technology, and I actually have a friend of mine who, well, actually, you know him, Dr. Dodge, who said, if all this podcasting fails, you should start a business called Digital Feng Shui, where you help people take their organizational tools and their digital libraries of documents and things and get them whipped into functional shape in a way that is super stress free. So that's one of those things that I think I could do pretty well.
Except you call it digital feng shui because you said functional shape. So it's FUNCT shui.
But everybody knows my love for George Clinton and Prince. And so it would be digital funk shui, FUNK.
Of course it would be.
Yeah.
Of course.
Look what we did. We did some brainstorming and it was great.
We did. So I've learned that my hobby to turn into a business is to become your managers.
Right.
And,
yes.
Make sure that these ideas I'm helping you create, I'm getting a piece of the action.
That's right.
That
they keep going forward.
Yep.
I'm liking this. I'm liking this business idea. We should talk after. Is there a hobby or an activity that you would do more regularly if money or time were not an issue?
Yes, but it's not something that we've talked about already. When I was in my 20s, one of my favorite things to do, and early 30s, was to travel with friends to big movie locations, like where movies were shot, to actually see where they were filmed. And there are entire industries now built around movie locations, not just like maps of the stars in LA, but like let's go to the on locations, where they film major movies and find those places. If money and time were no object, I would spend a lot of time traveling around to movie locations, probably reenacting scenes. I've already done that with Point Break right here in Oregon. Like we've got lots of locations. The Goonies. Oh yeah, we could do that all day long. So that would be my travel hobby. Like maybe leading. Yeah, that would be it. I don't think I'd want to make that a career. I wouldn't want to lead tours. I just want to do it.
Right. No, this was more about just, what would you do if money or time was not an issue or a factor?
Yeah, for sure.
I love that you do movie LARPing.
I do. Yeah.
I think when you say hobby or activity, there's two things that come to mind. Hobby would be, I would love to have more time to paint. But I also would love to have more energy to do it. Like, I think it's one of those things, like all of my hobbies take no, they don't take energy because they're all like solo. They're not hard things to do. Right. But when you've worked all day, it's like, I don't really want to get the paints out, like, cause I don't have a plate. Like I have to get them all out. And like, there's all these steps that kind of cause friction. Right. But, activity wise, I'm with Pete, not necessarily the movie things, but I would love to travel more. I would love to be able to travel and see more of the world.
We're going to go ahead and move on to another category that I have dubbed nostalgia nuggets, which I just
sounds weirdly gross and thoughtful.
Yep. Did it that way on purpose because I honestly, I first typed in nuggets of nostalgia and that sounded too nice. And so I switched it. But these are kind of just things looking back on your life, some early childhood, and maybe things you haven't thought about in a while. Like nicknames. Do you have any nicknames growing up or any time throughout your life?
My dad was a terrible person with nicknames, and
thank you for clarifying that.
He saddled me with from my earliest days. Why am I saying this on a podcast? He would call me Weesty. Weesty. Sometimes it would be Weesty Wobo, Weesty Woe, Weeser Woe. And that was it, like well into adulthood. The jerk. It's an unpleasant nickname that I now he's dead, so I remember it fondly. But boy, when he was alive, it would when I was an adult, and he would say, hey, Weiss, grab the salt or something in front of a girlfriend. Like it was the end of my life. It was the end of my life.
Can I ask where that came from? I'm trying to figure out how that, like
nicknames,
it doesn't really go with the name.
I know, but I started getting, like, we have these Super 8 films where he was calling me Weiss on, like, when I was 3, right? We have early audio tapes where he's recording me and letting me record. I'm like 5 years old, and I'm referring to myself as that, like,
Really?
He had me really conditioned when I was a little kid, and that just stuck. So Weiss. I also, when I was in college, I was an RA, and I always had just sort of catalog of weird remedies, like I had weird homeopathic remedies my mom would send me, and I would just shove in a cabinet and close the cabinet. But everyone on my floor, it was a floor full of 60 freshmen, and they all knew that if they ever had a pain anywhere, they would just come to me, and they started calling me Doc. And so for years that took over. Doc Pete, that was my nickname for a lot of years too. The guys I sang with in the a cappella group still call me Doc. So,
Oh my
There
gosh,
you
that's so fun.
yeah.
Do you have a
Nikki?
nickname for
I
your
love that.
wife? Or does your wife have a
My
nickname for you?
wife, no, it's terrible. Everybody in my life calls me Pete now. It's just Pete, plain old Pete, except for Kira and my mother. They call me Peter, except when they're talking about me. But when I'm present, it's Peter. When it's about me to other people, it's Pete. That's what we've just discovered. And it's a
Interesting.
real struggle because, Kira's name, Kira. There aren't any real natural nicknames for Kira. The D&D movie with Chris Pine, the daughter's name was Kira, and he called her Kier over and over. And Kira, my wife, hates that, says nobody ever does that to the name Kira. It's ridiculous. Don't ever do it. So as a result, I do it to Kira all the time. I call her Kier now pretty zealously just to try to, get her into it. It's not going great.
You'll wear her down.
It's like water over a stone eventually.
The Stockholm syndrome will kick in eventually, and she'll be on board.
Oh gosh.
I've tried variants. I've tried variants. It just nothing ever really takes. She's practically nicknameless. And in high school, they called her Funky Fresh Kira Lee. That was her maiden name, Kira Lee. So they called her Funky Fresh. So sometimes I call her Funky Fresh. It's one of those anti-nicknames. Like there was no reason she was ever to be called Funky Fresh Kira Lee. But that's why it's funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Nikki?
Well, my nicknames are boring. It's Nick. People will call me Nick, which obviously makes sense. And that's really, and then the one that my husband and I call each other is Bug. We've always called each other Bug. And
That's
so,
adorable.
and it's funny because we still do it even now. And the kids will kind of laugh because, they're our little baby bugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh
adorable.
my gosh, that's
But,
so
yeah.
cute.
So that's, pretty boring.
So my son
Not
is
boring,
Nick.
it's adorable.
My son is Nick, and growing up, we called him Nick, Nickel the Pickle.
Nickel the Pickle. Oh, I'm sure he loved that.
Yeah, no, he did. So I still call him. Somehow, I don't remember how it happened, but we started calling him Dr. Pickle. And so that became, now I just call him Doctor sometimes. Dr. Pickle, Dr. Pickle. And then Sophie, when she was born, had really, really, the way like newborns, their eyes aren't the color that they end up being. Right. They change like over the course of the next 6 hours, their eye color changes. And Sophie's came out and they were like steel, smoky blue eyes. So I call her Smoky. That was her nickname for years. And so I still call her that. Yeah. So that's the whole nickname story. I'm done officially with nicknames.
I love, Pete, though, how your nicknames for your kids tie to different things, like how you were called Doc when you were in college, and how you have almost passed on that title to your son.
No.
I think that's really cute. And for Sophie, how the smoke, like I know that she was off fighting forest fires for a while.
That's true. That's true.
So I think that's fun too.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection. That's funny.
All right. Well, enough of this sentimentality. Were you guys afraid of anything when you were kids? Specifically, like any monsters, the dark, something under the bed?
Yeah. There was a time where I have anxiety. Like that manifested in funny ways as a child. Like, I was definitely scared of things reaching out under the bed when I was very little. And I would run into my room and do like a running long jump to get into the bed because I felt like if I walked up to the bed, something would grab my foot and drag me under. So I had to jump over there was like a red zone where no feet could be because they would get grabbed.
Yeah.
So it was just a non-specific, like bad juju under the bed that would get me. So
just something.
Yeah. There was definitely a period where I was scared of the dark as a little guy, and as I think many people are. And then I realized, oh God, you know how good you can sleep when it's really dark? And then I
Oh,
got
so
over that.
amazing.
So good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Monsters? Not really. I don't think so. Nikki?
I don't remember. I know I don't love to be in the dark, but I was never like afraid of it. Like, but my mom always had like a night light or the hall light would be on or whatever. I didn't like spiders, and I remember one time there was a spider in the corner of my room, and I was crying and I was upset, and I kept saying spider, but my dad thought I was saying fire because I wasn't saying it well. And so he's like, fire, where's the fire? And I'm like, it's right there, it's right there. And he's just like, there's no fire. But I had night terrors growing up, and I
Oh.
Yeah.
still do every once in a while. And so I would wake up screaming. And yeah, it's crazy. Like I would wake up screaming, and my parents just stopped coming in to see if I was okay or not, because it was enough that they knew that I was just having a nightmare.
Yeah.
Happened when I was in college. It happened when I lived in the sorority. That was fun.
Oh
In a
God.
sleeping
Public
porch,
sleeping.
and
Oof.
yeah, and screaming. Happened when I was in my 20s, 30s, all the way up until even the house that I live in now. Every once in a while, I'll have a nightmare and I'll scream. But everybody that's like, my husband's used to it, so he's just kind of like, it's okay, it's all right, you're fine.
Wow.
And then I wake up and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
But that doesn't manifest in anything like during the day, like when you're aware. It's just when you're
No,
sleeping.
it's all just like these little night terrors that I have that I wake up screaming. I know
I
what
was-
they are, but I don't
Yeah.
really want to talk about it because
No.
it'll probably give me anxiety again. But yeah. But it's funny because you would think that I would stop watching true crime or whatever, right? Like
One
if
would
I
think.
think somebody's in my house or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I don't, yeah, whatever. It's just
Well,
weird.
that's for me as an adult. The things that scare me are I get directly from the movies that I watch. Like,
that you're watching.
oh
Yeah.
my God, Manhunter, the first Hannibal Lecter movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was before Anthony Hopkins was Hannibal Lecter, before Silence of the Lambs, and it is all about this cuckoo bird Cocoa Puffs guy who sits out and finds these houses with a lot of big windows and just sits in trees across the ditch from their house with binoculars and watches them in their house, and then in the middle of the night breaks into their house while they're sleeping and murders them all. And it's a horrible, horrible story. And that is my major malfunction, is just like the permeability of homes being like, you think they're safe spaces, but really it's very easy to get into a home. Like, it's very easy. If someone wants to get into my home, it's very easy to do it, to break a window. And that stuff freaks me out as an adult. That's my kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not so much the fantastical, but the things that can legitimately happen to anyone at any time.
Yeah.
And we take in so much garbage, even just like on the news and around us, that and our brains tend to use that as crazy fuel.
Yes. Crazy fuel
for our
That's
imaginations.
me. Right.
And send us down horrible spirals. That's why you got to feed it with good stuff.
That's right.
Like celebrity crushes.
When we were a teenager.
Yeah. Teenager, young kid, even in your 20s. What were some of your celebrity crushes?
As a teenager, Ralph Macchio from The Karate Kid, I thought was a beautiful human being, which is so funny because I do not think he's really that good looking now. But at the time I did. Ralph Macchio. Who else? Gosh, as a teenager, I'm trying to think of who would be up on my wall, like, when we would have like posters and stuff. But not a lot of people are coming up for me. I can tell you, like, now, I think Matthew McConaughey is really cute. I think Bradley Cooper, Brad Pitt. I think there's lots of George Clooney, I think, is a very handsome man. So I think there's lots of people. My husband, Brad Kinzer, so handsome.
Good save. Save the best for last on that list.
Yeah. Well, and that's easy for me to include because Kira was my major crush when I was that age, and then we got married, so it was easy. But I would say controversial pick, Lori Loughlin from Family Guy, Uncle Jesse's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a huge crush on her, and she is problematic now because of
the USC.
Yeah, she's problematic, but she was quite adorable. I think I was.
You know what? She values education, and that's all that matters.
Thank you for that.
I had a huge crush on Winona Ryder circa the Heathers days. I loved that movie so much, and I thought, I could pull off a movie like that. Problematic movie. It's got some issues today, but Robin Wright, Princess Bride era, Robin Wright. Ugh. Oh God.
Sure.
Yeah. Those kinds of things were when I was a teenager. So I'm sure there are others. I'm sure probably if I could remember some names from like 90210 era.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Luke Perry.
Luke Perry would have been.
Luke Perry. Yeah.
Shannon Doherty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting. Shannon Doherty was also in Heathers. Maybe that's the thing.
It's true.
Okay. All right. Little connection there.
It's pretty much Fox primetime where all my crushes. Fox nailed Pete's celebrity crushes.
That's funny.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
What about during your teenage years? One of the big formative things, and my son keeps reminding me, he's 15 years old and he keeps counting down the months until he can get his driver's license. And he always talks about the type of car that he expects or at least hopes to be able to drive. So my next question is, around the time that you got your driver's license, what would you say your dream car would have been?
Nikki?
Well, let's see. I really didn't have I really didn't have a dream car. But I need to look it up and make sure that, So there was a car I really liked that was a Datsun 510. And I loved how boxy it was. I always thought it was really cute. But honestly, I was just so grateful to get a car that my parents bought for me. And, it was a Mazda 626, I think. It was like a 19.
Oh, sure.
Mazda, how do you spell Mazda? 626. It was 1979. Yep, that's what it is. It was a 1979 Mazda 626. And I remember we bought it for under $2,000. And, this was back in 1988 maybe or something like that.
Sure.
I ran that thing down to the ground. Like there was an actual hole where the drivers, it like you could see the floor. I had that car for the all the way up until graduation actually even after graduation. I didn't get a new car until I was in my 20s. So I had that car for a long, long time. Took very good care of it because it was a precious thing. It meant freedom for me.
Was that your dream car?
No, not at all. It was a car that my dad just said, "This is what you're getting."
Yeah. So what do you have like a fantasy car out there that do you think about it? You don't really think about cars like that.
Not at all. I don't at all.
Well, I'm glad this question came up. My first car was a Saab 900 Turbo that we got from John Elway's wife, who was selling it because he was just he just signed with the Broncos and was making a lot of money, and she was getting rid of her Saab in order to get a Porsche. And I love that Saab because it had the Saabs have the ignition, the key switch in the center console. So you put your key down under the brake between the seats, and I thought that was really fun. But I did have this friend who you could pull the key out while the car was running. And I'll never forget, like whenever he was in the passenger seat, he would take the key out and throw it out the window and the car would just keep going. And so we'd have to turn around and drive back, and we couldn't turn the car off until we searched the side of the road for the keys. Anyway.
Well, he sounds lovely.
Yeah, he was a real treat. So I got that. I bottomed it out and cracked the bell housing on the transmission, lost that car forever. I got a pickup truck for a little while. Again, very, very cheap just to get to work. But my dream car at the time, they actually made a movie about my dream car. And that dream car...
Herbie the Love Bug?
...is not Herbie the Love Bug. My goodness. It's the Ford GT40 Mark II, driven by Ken Miles, and in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And I wanted that car so bad. It had gull-wing. It had the great sort of weirdo kind of half gull-wing doors. I would never fit in that car. It had to be driven by somebody who weighed 135 pounds. Like, it was really, really small. But I actually have the car on a die-cast model of the car on my wall behind me. I loved that car. I love the era. That era of Le Mans cars were really special. And now it would be, I got a lot of favorite cars right now. I kind of celebrate the whole vehicle, the whole class of vehicles. But I'm also really happy with the car I drive. I'm driving a car that I really, really love. And so it's hard to imagine getting into and insuring the kind of car that I would fantasize about. Yeah, I think I could buy the GT40. Ford brought it back, and they make the GT. They made a handful of GT40s some years ago that you could get for like $8 million. Like it's ridiculous. They're ridiculous cars, but I love them. That's all. That's my whole story.
I like that.
There you go.
Did you guys ever name your cars?
No.
Weirdly, my Saab was called Dr. Turbo.
Of course it was.
I name everything doctor. Is that weird?
Everything's doctor, yeah.
That's clearly I needed to go back for my PhD.
Guess so.
A lot of honorary doctorates thrown around.
A lot of honorary doctorates, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Turbo is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I have to ask, did you ask for like John Elway to like autograph the dash or something?
No. We had no connection with him. It was just my dad's best friend at the time, this guy named Peter Hopmeyer, and he ran a large used car wholesale business up and down the Front Range from Denver to Pueblo. And so he's the one who knew John and had helped him in the past get into some cars. And so we never got the connection. We just got the car.
Oh, can you imagine how much that dash would have gone for, even in
your
bottomed out car?
I know, right? Could have paid for a new car.
I think so, a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, with all of this what if of our favorite cars, we're going to move now to my final category that I have entitled What If Fantasies. And those things that you think about and, what if this happened? Wouldn't that be nice? Or I wonder what this would be like. And so my first question is actually just for Pete. Okay. Pete, if you could have any fictional character as your ADHD coach, who would it be and why?
I want Mary Poppins because then occasionally, this is one thing. This is, I think, a real hole in what Nikki brings to the show, which is occasionally, I think Nikki should start singing.
Breaking into song.
It's just so. Sometimes we deal with hard topics. And I think Nikki should break into song. And I think Mary Poppins is that same sort of kind Nikki energy, but with more singing. And that's where I think we would. Yeah. That's where I think we would end up.
I think you should be the singer. You're the singer.
But not when Mary Poppins is around. Oh no! No, I'm just sitting around eating spoonfuls of sugar. That's all I do.
Which is super great when you're trying to coach someone with ADHD.
Right? Yeah. That is super great. Bring your sugar to the session.
Yeah, right.
I'm just going to fill this spoon with sugar and I'll talk to you while you eat it.
I'll have my mic and Ike, so it'll be good. We'll have a great conversation.
Outstanding.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, you know what? I did like that answer, Mary Poppins. Well, this next one, I made a little story out of it. So give me a second as I set the scene for this what if. So imagine that your podcast co-host, so Pete for you, it would be Nikki. Nikki for you, Pete. They're no longer able to continue to host this show with you. Maybe they were abducted by aliens. Maybe they decided to swear a vow of silence for whatever reason. But whatever the case, the show must go on. And you have to get yourself a new co-host.
This is like the podcast hall pass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right?
Weird.
So who would your number one top pick be to have as your new co-host? And we will expand that because obviously this is a silly situation to begin with. They can be living or dead, real or fictional. Who would you choose to co-host this podcast with you?
First of all, if anything did happen, I can tell you right off the bat that the podcast would probably be no longer. If one of us could not do it, the taking control of the ADHD podcast would come to an end. That's the truth. Now, in a fictional world, I think I would probably I wouldn't have a co-host. I think I would just have random people come in and help me.
Oh.
At different times. And I wouldn't do it on a weekly basis. It would just be like Ari Tuckman coming over and, we're chatting and interviewing somebody or interviewing him. But I think I just would have random people. Sharon Celine, all of our people that we like. James Ochoa. I don't know. Random.
That's very real and very grounded of you to say that. There's what happened to the fantastical?
Well, I also did think
picks.
of the very first thing I thought of, Pete, was getting an AI version of you. Because we could do that.
That is the perfect answer. That is the perfect answer.
That was the first, because remember when you used to wear your little headset and you were in reality and you kind of looked fake anyway?
Used to. That's like Monday morning, day one.
Right, yeah. So I could see that happening as well. Here's fake me.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
Because I am somebody, my first, the one fantasy that I have is I want to be uploaded to the cloud. When I'm on my deathbed and I've eaten all the Twinkies and Ding Dongs that I could possibly eat, I want to be jacked in and uploaded to the cloud. So that is perfect. I am the Lawnmower Man ADHD fantasy. That's what I want. And so you have my permission to create an AI version of me. Yeah, this show will go forever.
And ever.
Yeah.
Because when Nikki's ready to go, she will also be uploaded to the cloud.
Yeah. She has not given us permission. We're just going to do it.
We're just going to do it.
Yep.
I think my fantasy would be ADHD celebrities whose ADHD is worse than mine. Because I would love to be the super grounded one on this show. I am an ADHD relativist, and if people who are really when they're not on script, their ADHD is loud. Those are my people. I would do another rotating cast of just major celebrities whose ADHD is off the hook. Yeah, that's what I want. That would be it.
I love that. I love that you didn't stick with one idea. It makes me think of what Kelly Ripa did after Regis left the show. Mm-hmm. Is she just had different people come in to co-host every once in a while. I don't know if they ever landed on somebody, but that's fun.
Her husband,
I
think, is doing it.
Oh, really?
Or Ryan Seacrest? I don't know. I don't
watch it. Yeah. I was always in it for Regis.
All right. And as we are rounding out, this is actually going to be our final question. It does come in a couple of parts. I thought it might be fun if an album was created with a soundtrack for your life. What are certain songs or genres of music that would play during different portions of your life? So early childhood, what kind of music do you think would be on your soundtrack?
I don't know if I listened to music in my early childhood. I remember my parents' music. Like I remember my dad had all of the Linda Ronstadt albums. They had a Bee Gees album. They had a little river band album that I used to listen to. So I would say that it would be like music that I would hear them listening to for early childhood.
I like that.
I spent, like, I built a playlist. I built the album that you asked for. I have so many tracks that we're going to talk through. Don't worry, I've got you. So for my teens or my little kid era, it would have been stuff like Rainbow Connection, Kermit the Frog, right? It would have been Pure Imagination, Gene Wilder. It would have been some Kenny Loggins stuff, even though that Kenny Loggins, his House at Pooh Corner didn't come out until I was in my teens. Like that was a big favorite. I would retroactively put that on the early childhood years. And then probably Neil Diamond, because that was to Nikki's point. Yeah, there was a ton of Neil Diamond in my house.
I did see that in the movie theater too. The Neil Diamond song,
America. Yeah.
America. Yeah, I remember seeing that with my parents. That's so
the jazz
weird
singer.
that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
What about for your teenage years or when you're in high school?
Oh,
what would be on your soundtrack?
Depeche Mode, The Cure, New Order, Erasure, all of that. Like at the time was kind of alternative music.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it all.
For sure. Yeah. For me, it includes it's like a superset of what Nikki just said. It's Jane's Addiction, it's Pearl Jam, it's Foo Fighters, it's Smashing Pumpkins, it's They Might Be Giants, and in my teens I found Prince. So every one of these eras has additional Prince related content, and this sort of era appropriate Prince contribution would be like Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, I Would Die for You, Beautiful Ones. Like those are the tracks that I was, but because of that I was also going back to the early controversy Prince albums that were released when I was not allowed to listen to Prince, and so I was also listening to that out of era. But
yeah, I would say early teens, like middle school was definitely Prince and like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper and all of that. And then it was in high school that I more liked the more alternative stuff.
Yeah.
But college and 20s, things kind of switched a little bit. I would say that in college, it was still kind of like pop music, whatever was being kind of on the radio at that time, but it was in my mid-20s that I started liking country music.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where I started liking Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney and Faith Hill at the time was big. Dixie Chicks. I loved them. And that's when I started going to concerts too. So I would start seeing people.
For sure. Yeah. My college 20s, they were like Matthew Sweet, David Gray, the Postal Service. I think Arcade Fire was in my 20s. But of course, the Prince era stuff, we're talking about like Seven, The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, Money Don't Matter Tonight, Nothing Compares to You. Sinead O'Connor did it, but it was Prince's song, and the Prince version of that was on heavy repeat. So yeah, that kind of stuff. 30s?
Yeah, what about your 30s?
Definitely still country, a lot of country, but it's also when I started listening to Jason Mraz.
That's the Jason Mraz era.
That's when I started getting into Jason Mraz and like more of like the people around him, like Ed Sheeran, Sarah Bareilles. I'm probably not saying her name right.
Sarah Bareilles. Yeah.
And so like that kind of music I really liked in my 30s, but still definitely very country. Yeah. Same with my 40s too.
I would add the Killers. I listened to a ton of the Killers in my 30s. Mr. Brightside, When You Were Young, Read My Mind. Coldplay this is when when Coldplay became a thing for me. Muse, Death Cab for Cutie. Oh my God, lots of Death Cab. I Will Follow You.
Pete, I never knew this about you.
Totally.
See, your 30s, like these songs are speaking to me.
Yeah, right. And my Prince era of my 30s was like Musicology and Black Sweat and Cream and Get Off, and that was kind of what I was listening to of Prince in my 30s. But by my 30s, I'd seen Prince in concert like 5 times, and so I was,
wow,
that was just a big part of my music career. So 40s. So Nikki, you said you didn't change much in your 40s. You were still listening to the same kind of stuff?
I still listen to the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't until Taylor Swift came out with the Eras tour movie that after I watched that, whenever that was a couple of years ago, then I started becoming a big fan of Taylor Swift.
Okay. Yeah. I added Bon Iver, The National, Wilco, Elbow, Death Cab is on the list of my 40s just because I found Stay Young, Go Dancing is one of the songs that was on heavy repeat now fairly recently. The Prince era we're talking about Gold, the Gold Standard, Million Days, Reflection, those kinds of tracks. And that leads to today, which is weirdly, like, it's weird to find a new fandom. Like, I listen to a lot of contemporary music. Like, I like music a lot and I like bringing it into my life. But it's weird to say I have found a band that I am a legitimate fan of and listen to their whole thing. And that right now is Lawrence. I am obsessed with Lawrence. I listen to it all the time. So, probably Up, 23, Guy I Used to Be, like those kinds of tracks from Lawrence, I could listen to all day long and do. And my kids don't like Lawrence, but Kira does. So we're all Lawrence right now. I would include Vampire Weekend, LCD Sound System, Beach House, and still listening to Prince, Breakfast Can Wait, Cloud Stare. Like I made a playlist, y'all. Like I have these tracks in a list that I.
You should totally post this because I would listen to that playlist.
It's a good playlist. It's a good playlist. I'll put it on Spotify and Apple Music. I will do that.
Love it.
Awesome.
I just have to say, I haven't been reading the chat, but what just came up is Brian saying, Pete, I thought you were going to say Lawrence Welk. Brian. I'm so mad.
Nikki, did you say what music you're listening to today?
Taylor Swift, definitely. Like,
that's right.
Yeah. After I watched her eras, but then I still listen to country. Not as much as I don't listen to country as much as I used to because I don't know a lot of who the new people are. I saw a little bit of the CMAs last week, and I was like, I don't know who a lot of these people are. So I obviously don't
Beyonce.
Yeah, country.
But I don't think she's country.
So weird.
At all.
She's got one.
I know, it's weird.
And she won country album of the year, which is ridiculous. Come on, people. She is not a country singer.
I'll throw in Lizzo. I'm fascinated by Lizzo. I think Lizzo's a really neat person and so freaking talented. And the other one that is it's one of those like guilty pleasure acts today that I listen to unironically because, my family likes her a lot, is Sabrina Carpenter, who we've been watching since Girl Meets World. When my kids were at that age, that was their show. They loved that show. And she was, of course, on that show. And now she's a pop star and she's legit funny. Like her tracks are subversive. And if you've never watched her videos, they are great. Her music videos are fantastic. And I will throw in another kids group that has grown up and sort of grown into me, AJR. I listen to a ton of AJR too. That's my
son's favorite group.
It's a good band. Good band.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It is very good.
I like Maroon 5.
Absolutely. Maroon 5.
Classic.
And Maroon 5, before they were Maroon 5, was Vertical Horizon. I used to listen to a lot of Vertical Horizon in college. We could go on.
Yeah. He has ADHD.
He does.
Yes. Adam, you bet.
We need to get him on the show.
That's right.
All right. I will add that to my holiday time off list.
Would die.
I
would be fangirling over here. All right. Well, thanks, Melissa.
Good job, fun. Melissa.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot
really
of fun. And
I
feel like, I've known you guys for a while, and I feel like I learned a lot about you today. Like, Nikki, I think Pete and I both, you heard that we were kind of surprised when you said that you liked country music so much. Because I think both of us were like, really? And weren't expecting you to say that.
Yeah.
So I think we all learned a little
it
something
a lot
today.
for a long time. Still do. Chris Stapleton, one of my favorites. Oh man, that man has a smooth voice.
What was the Garth Brooks? I like Garth Brooks.
I like Garth Brooks. Yep.
What was the Garth Brooks that he released that wasn't him? It was for the movie that never got released. It was the soundtrack.
Where he's
I really like that.
Different persona.
Mm-hmm.
Chris.
That was a great album. Chris. Is it Chris?
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about though. I saw Garth Brooks in concert at Autzen Stadium a few years ago, and it was pretty amazing. He's a good entertainer for sure. It was
The Life of Chris Gaines.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great album.
Yeah. I also was a big Chris Isaak fan in my 20s. I saw him a few times in concert. Yeah. Chris Isaak. I liked him a lot.
Wicked Game.
Oh, it's a great song.
Oh, Chris Isaak, you crooner.
Yeah.
All right. This is our longest episode ever in the world, and we got to hang it up.
We got to go.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for hosting this quiz show. So appreciate you for doing this. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us, listening to this episode and the entirety of season 31. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for your time and your attention. We will be back in the new year. Have a great, great holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. And all the other things that I'm forgetting. But we hope your holiday season is full of peace and grace and judgment-free good times. Thanks, everybody.